Okay, over the next several weeks, I will be tasting some whiskeys that were available at the BC Liquor Store Premium Spirits release of November 2021. I already started a few weeks ago with the Alberta Premium Cask Strength Batch 3, which I got from Alberta, but it was also available at the BC Liquor Store's Premium Spirits release. Here is another whiskey that was available at the Premium Spirits release, but I got it from Alberta a little early, even though I'm trying it now, almost 4 months after the Spirits release. But either way, I did pay a little too much for this, I must admit. Let me see. What did I pay? Here we are. $329.99. But on top of that, it's 5%. 329.99 times 0.05 is $16.50 plus 329.99 plus another $15 for hand shipping. Let's say $14 shipping and insurance and everything else. $360.50. I paid too much. I could have probably got it for $320 in BC liquor stores. Well, live and learn. But anyway, that's the Canadian Club 44-year-old Chronicles, issue number 4 at 45% alcohol by volume. Now I'll switch back over here and let you know what else there is to know about it. First of all, it's got a magnetic thing here. And inside here we've got a green baggie, and we've got the whiskey in a fancy bottle inside the green baggie. There. Canadian Club 44 Chronicles number 4. There's a bunch of writing on it, and I'm going to read that to you as soon as I've poured myself a dram and let it start to open up. Although it probably doesn't need to open much. Other previous iterations of the Canadian Club Chronicles have been fine from the get-go. Now there's a little bit of plastic left on here. Let's get rid of that. Oh, awkwardness. Here we are. I think we got it now. Yeah. Okay, now that I've struggled with that, there is something fancy here. It's like a snap thing. It is a snap thing. Oh, and it has a collar that comes off. Look at that. It is a collar. The whiskey elves. I don't know what that is. Can you read that? The whiskey something. I can't read that. It's such fancy script that I can't read it. And I've never considered myself illiterate. Now, can I get this? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I can get this cork. Moist cork. Let us pour a glass. Here, that's a quig-sized dram, if ever I saw one, of this 45% 44-year-old whiskey. Okay, on here, this may take a while. Issue number 4, the Whiskey Sixes. The Whiskey Sixes. That's what that says. I don't understand what the Whiskey Sixes is, but I will put this back on. Maybe this will explain what the Whiskey Sixes is. Okay, that's back on there, the way it's supposed to be, the collar. Okay, so what is this Whiskey Sixes? Trademark. Oh, small writing. Canadian Club became the unofficial whiskey of Prohibition through the ingenuity and diligence of the bootleggers, and smuggled CC across the Detroit River into the U.S. During the winter months, bootleggers would drive across the frozen river in lighter vehicles dubbed Whiskey Sixes. Oh, because of their smaller 6-cylinder engines, these notorious automobiles were responsible for transporting as much as 75% of the country's liquor. The Whiskey Sixes roadsters could easily outrun police cars, adding glamour and panache to Canadian Club. With this 4th release, we celebrate a true original Canadian Club, creating memorable moments for over 160 years. Okay, and now down here there's a bunch of tasting notes. I will dispense with those. I can't even read them anyway. It's black writing on a dark red box, and it's really fine print, and I had enough trouble reading the blurb up on this part here. Okay, so now I know what the Whiskey Sixes is. Canadian Club Whiskey Original, 44 years old. The Whiskey Sixes. Distilled and bottled in Canada. Canadian Club Whiskey Company, return for fund where applicable. Okay. Chronicles. Okay. Now we know what the Whiskey Sixes is. But it's such fancy script that I couldn't. Can you? That doesn't look like sixes to me. But anyway, what difference does it say on here? No, nothing. Tasting notes it has, and Whiskey Sixes. There's a little picture of a car there. Oh, okay. All right. Oh. Right away corn sweetness because it's corn whiskey. Oh, look at the legs on that. Oh, it has legs. Look at them. Look at those legs. Thick ones. And now the secondaries are coming down slowly. See those drops there? Oh, yeah. I'm getting mostly corn sweetness here. I wonder if they went back to the pure essence of the Canadian Club. And just put out the straight corn whiskey like they did back in for the 40-year-old. Maybe there's a hint of rye, but not much. I'm not getting any, or should I say, I'm getting very little, if any, sherry cask finishing or addition of any sherry to it. Maybe there's a little bit. Maybe there's a little rye, but I think it's quite minimal. I'll have to find out. What they did to this one, if they did anything at all, from the corn whiskey that came in rye, in ex-rye barrels to begin with. I hope they didn't add anything to it. You know, maybe there's a little bit of something added to the corn whiskey. Because apart from the corn sweetness, I'm getting something that resembles maple syrup a little bit. And on the nose, besides that, I'm not getting much rye spice, if there's any in there. This might be the purest one since the 41-year-old. Yeah, corn sweetness. A lot of sweetness, a lot of corn. Okay, along with the corn husks, I'm getting corn husks. There's some vanilla. Maybe this needs to open up some more. I don't know. Because I'm definitely getting corn husks and vanilla. A little bit of toffee, caramel, that kind of thing. But definitely corn husks. And I didn't think I would be getting corn husks with a whiskey that's been in ex-rye barrels for 44 years. It's remarkably fresh for something so old. And it's not woody at all. You would think, oh, it's got to be woody. No. It's nice. Nice to nose it. Gonna have to taste it too. Well, I guess I'll give it a go. Okay, on the palate, it's very sweet. What did they do to this? On the palate, it's like they added Pedro Jimenez to it and just poured Pedro Jimenez into it. It's quite sweet. You know, now that I'm nosing it, I am getting a little bit of a winey note to it. Like beneath all that corn sweetness, there is like a port or wine sweetness. Then I get corn husks again. It's hard to pull this one apart. Oh yeah, that's quite sweet. Quite sweet. And I don't know if it's port or sherry, but there is some. I'm willing to go with Pedro Jimenez because it's very sweet. Very sweet. Take it in small sips. I will have to let this one open up somewhat, and hopefully that sweetness from the the port or Pedro Jimenez that they added to it, let that settle down, because that sweetness is overpowering. It's too sweet. But like I said, it may mellow with time, and it's not like I'm going to be rushing through this bottle in a hurry. It will have its chance to breathe, and the bottle may last the rest of the year. Who knows? I don't think I'm going to go for it very frequently. I might send a sample or two away. I might give some to a friend or two to taste. But I'm not going to be reaching for it very often. It smells okay. It smells like corn whiskey with a little bit of sherry and or port in it. It's still quite sweet. But within that sweetness, there is a complexity. There are several flavors competing with each other to come out. And yeah, I think this needs time. It needs time in an open bottle to open up and mellow out and calm down and not be so damn sweet. What have we got here? Might try going through tasting notes just for the hell of it. Color golden amber, okay. Aroma, signature vanilla, crisp apple, and molasses blends with aromas of burnt sugar, custard, caramel, and chocolate. Really? It's going to need some time. Taste. Hallmark smoothness of CC with the complex yet familiar blend of sweet, crisp apple, plum, and dried fruit mixed enticingly with notes of zesty spice and chocolate. No, all I get is sweetness. You guys are lying to me. Finish. Well-rounded, pleasantly dry with the simple but recognizable wood tannins for which CC is known. A finish that befits a liquid aged 44 years. Okay, the finish is complex. I'll give it that. But I didn't get any chocolate. Not much anyway. Now I get it. Okay. Now the damn thing's opened up. Now that I've tried it. Now that I'm 22 minutes into recording. I could probably nose it for another hour and get more out of it. It's getting better. I'll give it that. It's getting better. And I guess maybe it takes an hour for this to fully open up. And maybe if I just let it interact with the air for a while, it will allow those aromas and flavors to manifest. But when you just open it and neck pour it, there wasn't that much there. But that's part of the evolution. You don't get much to begin with, but as it opens up, as it reacts with the air, as it oxidizes a bit, it gets better. And yes, it does. It's still very sweet, but not as sweet as it was. It's less sweet. If I was to add just a bit of water, I wonder if that will open it up some more. Yeah. Oh, now we're getting aromas. I'm getting an orange citrus note. Now there's toffee, custard. I'm not getting apple so much as they say. Getting more of an orange citrus than apple. Now I'm getting chocolate. It took the addition of some water to open it up, to break those bonds between the alcohol and the volatiles. There's still a bit of that corn husk to it, though. On the palate. It's a lot less sweet now that I've added some water to it. Now it's coming into its own. It's getting more interesting. It's getting more enjoyable. But at first, I'm not one of those who's going to open a pour glass and wait 45 minutes for it. I want to pour it. I want to pour and play. And the more of this that I sip, the more exquisite a whiskey it becomes. The aroma is so much larger now. I've gone on long enough. I have a policy that I don't watch videos that are more than half an hour long. And we're getting close to the half-hour mark now. So I'm going to have to finish up real soon now. Yeah, this gets more interesting with time. But still, that corn husk note hangs on. Whatever they've added to this. Cheers.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.